There are two questions that fascinate me in the Jorge Luis Borges story, The Form of the Sword. The first one is, why exactly did Moon sell out his compatriot? He was a fellow soldier of someone in the Irish Republican Army who saved his life, but he sold this individual to the British, informed on him, and got him arrested and got money in return. And the story discusses the attitude that Moon had toward the Irish efforts. He was very dismissive. He was critical of all of the planning. But this does not seem to have been the true motive. The speaker in that story talks about cowardice repeatedly. It seems to be the case that at the time, Moon had some sort of justification. Moon had reasons why there was a deplorable economic foundation to the Irish Republican efforts, or that the plans were ill considered. But the truth was, he was afraid. And that becomes more and more clear the more of the story that we read. The older speaker, as he reflects back on his earlier life, undercuts every one of Moon's arguments at the time. He refers to the money received in exchange for informing as Judas money, a reference to the gospel in which Judas receives 30 pieces of silver for selling out Jesus and getting him arrested. He has a very low opinion of himself. And this leads to the second very interesting question. Why does he tell the story as if he were the more noble, more loyal individual, and only at the end reveal that he himself is Moon? The explanation he gives to Borges, who is the author in the frame story, is that he did not think he would even be listened to, that he thought his listener would cease hearing the story if he admitted his true role. And that too suggests self-loathing on a very deep level. I think there might be a degree to which, in telling the story as though he were a better person, is an attempt for him to distance himself from his own actions and his own choices that he finds so incredibly terrible. This is a person who knows he did wrong. He had excuses perhaps at the time, but as he reflects and as he thinks, probably even then, when he sold out his fellow soldier, he knew he was doing something that was selfish and wrong and did it anyway. And the story, The Frame of the Sword, is a study in someone who can never quite accept the consequences and the ill light in which he sees himself because of the terrible things he did betraying someone as a younger man.